Welcome back to the 21 Convention. I hope everybody enjoyed their quick little break. Our next speaker is head of live training at The Social Man. He's been in the industry for approximately 5 years, and it's his third time speaking at the 21 Convention. Welcome, Nick Sparks.
Woo! Yeah! Let's give it up for me. Oh, no. How's everybody doing today? Yeah? Pretty amazing convention that Anthony puts on year after year. Round of applause for Anthony. This is cheesy. This is just, but I'm going to do it anyway. So, I had about 15 or 20 minutes or so prepared where I was just going to talk about myself, give you a little intro, talk about my past, let you really get to know me for a while, right? Then I realized that you probably really didn't give a shit about that, so I decided to cut that portion. Unless somebody does. Would anybody like to hear about my history, my past? All right, I appreciate that, guys. You're very sweet. Thank you. Or would you rather I just cut into advice, things that might actually be beneficial or helpful for you? Yes? Show of hands for the intro. Show of hands. Thank you. I appreciate it. For the actual content, show of hands. All right, well, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Try not to take that too personally. I'm out of here. Whatever. I don't need this conference. Okay, so what I wanted to talk to you guys about today, aside from myself, is approaching women. That's it. Other times I've been all over the place. Today I just want to talk about this one thing in particular right here. And why am I going to do that? This is a good question. You might say, why wouldn't you want to talk about that? But this is a good question. Why am I going to spend my time up here talking about approaching? It's not necessary. You don't need it. It's completely superfluous to you finding a mate, to you dating, to you having happy, successful lives when it comes to women, when it comes to everything. Don't need approaching. What? It's true. Don't need it whatsoever. The vast majority of people, think about it. Think about all of the people you know in your life right now. Friends, family, acquaintances. How many of these people actually, on a regular, consistent basis, are stepping outside of their personal bubble of friends and just walking up and talking to random strangers? Not only just talking to random strangers, but getting positive, jovial reactions. Not only getting these positive, jovial reactions, but with the women, getting attraction within 5 to 10 to 20 minutes and getting phone numbers and going further. How many people do you know that actually do that? You can probably count them on one hand. 2 if you know a lot of people, but that's really stretching it even then. My point being is that this whole being this social superman, this whole going out and talking to anyone and lighting people up, it's a rarity in our society, in our world. A lot of people, most people, the vast majority of people don't possess this ability. Very, very rare when you find someone that's just so naturally outgoing they light up everywhere. Most people go through their entire lives, every once in a while having a couple cocktails and talking to a stranger at a party or a friend's thing, but usually they date people through social circles. They take a class and they meet somebody through there. Online dating is becoming huge right now. You can date a couple new girls every single week and never do a single approach. You don't have to learn this. Most guys will be happily married and never even worry about approaching. So why do we care so much about it? Why am I going to spend my entire time up on this stage talking about it if it's such a big waste of time? Well, obviously it's not. Obviously there's something there that's so valuable that we want it, right? Yeah, there's only a few rare people that have that ability, that do this all the time, but why can't we be that person, right? Why the hell can't we be in that 1% of individuals? Certainly a noble goal to try to live up to. Why not? It's a good question. And how many times we've all been in that situation at the grocery store, at the coffee shop, at the park, walking down the street, at the party, at the bar, saw that girl. Oh my God, heart skips a beat. She goes walking out of our life forever. We wonder what could have been, some variation. You've all been there, you've all understood it. And you didn't say hi. You didn't approach. You didn't say anything. Why? Oh, if I just knew what to say, if I just had the right thing to say, or, oh, I couldn't move. I couldn't think fast enough. I froze. You don't want to freeze. You want to know what to say. You want to be able, when life throws that person that you've been dreaming about, that person that gets you excited, you don't want to miss those opportunities. You want that person to be in your life. If there is a chance of it happening whatsoever, you don't want to miss that chance. Two ways you can go about living life. One, dictating what happens, what you get. And the other, just whatever life hands to me. Most people go by doing the same old, and they're fine. But very, very few people step outside of that box and say, no, I want something else. I want something different. I want to take this into my own hands. And that's why you're here. That's why we actually care about approaching. Because we're sick of just taking whatever is handed to us. We want to change our cards. We want to turn in, get a new hand every once in a while. And this skill, this noble social ability that very, very few people have, gives us that opportunity. And yeah, I know you guys have all talked to girls. You guys have all done approaches. You guys have all put in reps and everything. And I'm sure some of you very well might be able to. How many guys, be honest, is there anyone in this room right now who, when you see that girl in any situation that just, makes you melt, you will not even hesitate before walking up to her and saying something anywhere within, if she's within a block radius of you. How many guys can honestly put their hand up and say, I would never hesitate in that situation? 'Cause I can't do it. Sure as hell can't do it. And so yes, even though you guys have done it before, you're not satisfied. Very, very few of you are satisfied. How do I know this? Because I've been coaching guys for 5 years. And if there's one thing I hear more than anything else, yes, I help guys have better conversations with girls. Yes, I help guys get more sexual and escalate things, of course. But if there's one thing I hear more than anything else, is I want more opportunities, and I'm sick and tired of letting those opportunities pass me by. The one thing I hear more than anyone else, it's still the biggest thing, that for whatever reason, doing this for how many years, people are just not satisfied. That's why I'm talking about this today. So what gives me the right to talk about it? Why should I even be the one to speak to you about it? Well, our coaching programs at the Social Man, this isn't a plug, I swear I didn't mean it to be this way, but our coaching programs at the Social Man, they're not perfect. We're working on improving them every single day. But one thing that we do nail is there's not a single guy that walks through our program who spends a weekend with us that has any problem approaching like a machine afterwards. Some guys' conversation we still need to brush up with. Some guys, flirtation, escalation still needs a little bit of work. But if there's one thing I can always guarantee is you will not walk away from that weekend having any problem approaching whatsoever. Bold guarantee. How can I make something like that? Good question. The reason why guys walk out of our programs without having any problem in this area whatsoever is because after one of our programs, the guy is no longer making the two big mistakes that the vast majority of men make who are struggling with this stuff when it comes to approaching women. The vast majority of people make it. If you're still struggling with consistency, you're making at least one of these two mistakes. Maybe not all the time, but enough of the time that your consistency isn't where you want it to be. And that's what I'm going to be sharing with you right now, what those two are. And let me make it clear. After listening to me speak, you're not going to just, I'm not doing some magic stuff to rewire your brain chemistry as I'm talking to you. You're not going to be able to walk out of here and not, have your whole feelings about approaching change. I wish I could do that. I can't. You're going to be able to understand what I'm talking about from an intellectual standpoint. It's very simple. I promise it won't go over anyone's head. And it's probably stuff you've thought of before. It's probably stuff you've heard before. It's probably stuff you were already doing when you were on, and you didn't even think about it, and you were having a great time and talking to everyone. So this won't be any big secret. And it probably won't be anything that 99% of you haven't done, but the problem is in some situations you revert back, you make these mistakes, and when it counts most, in front of the people you care most about, in front of the women you're most attracted to, you fall. Consistency sucks, and that's why you actually care about what I'm going to be saying next.